Well, we're excited and thrilled to have BYU Athletics Director Tom Holmoe in studio. It's a busy time of year. Of course, you're always busy, but this time of year especially. Just want to start with getting your thoughts on the team so far, some impressions you've had so far of how things are going.
You know, I really don't have a chance to go out to practice in the first couple of days, so this isn't really what I've seen, but more of what I've heard. And I do have an opportunity to talk to the coaches every day. I also will talk to the players to see how it's going, and a couple of the key guys I can get a good feel for. They'll be honest with me about how things are going. But I think they're off to a good start. As the athletic director and you help build this schedule, does it feel like Christmas for you to watch this schedule that you've worked on so hard kind of unfold and play out in a year? Well, I knew that this schedule was going to be good, but I'm really looking at this season. It's a good team, but we're young in certain areas, and we have some really key players that are very good, Van Noy and Hoffman, who you know are going to come out and play well. But against these really good teams at home and on the road, you got to wonder how they'll hold up in really intense situations, because some of these guys haven't played a lot and don't have a lot of great experience. Staying with the scheduling theme, Utah Athletic Director Chris Hill recently announced on his YouTube that a deal with BYU is close. Any update on that, games in 2017, 2018 that you could share with us? It's really close. I would ditto what Chris says. Okay. We've talked about it for a number of months, and ever since we got to that point where we knew that we weren't going to be able to play them after this season for 2 years, we've been in communication about how we can get this game back. And what Chris says is right. We're very, very close. You have an official deal with Utah State. That's exciting. 4 games coming up. You added an extra game there. But the interesting about that deal is you're playing Utah State in November twice in the future. How important is it for BYU to have November games against in-state rivals? Well, it helps our schedule. It was a great opportunity for Scott Barnes, the athletic director at Utah State, and I to get together and try to see how we could make it a win-win situation. We needed a November game. We had a couple games that we could only fit in where we typically play them. So really, they kind of had to move down to make it good for us, and so we made it home and home to make it good for them. Games with Notre Dame in the future are very exciting for you and for the athletic department, for BYU fans. This deal they have now with the ACC, does that concern you at all that you could lose some of those Notre Dame games? I'm certain that it'll be up in the air. You look at what Notre Dame's done, and you've seen some of the things like with Arizona State where they got out of the game there, and I think they got out of another one. We have a good relationship with Notre Dame, and we play them 2 for 1, so I think it's a profitable deal for them. They like playing us. The timing is good. But what I would do is, and what I've done is talk to Jack Swarbrick about how can we work this out? Is there anything that we can do to make it good for you before it even happens? But there really has been no conversation from their end other than me saying, how you doing? How's your scheduling coming? There was some news, some waves made lately. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby blasted the NCAA, stated that change needs to take place, and even alluded to the idea of the Big 5 conferences breaking off and forming a Division 4. What was your reaction to his comments? I could almost see it coming, not exactly, but there were some rumblings about this, and it came out in the media with some of the pundits before the commissioners really took the stage. This isn't something new. There are factors or topics in the national discussion in the NCAA about paying players, a possible stipend, and various other things that the bigger conferences want to do. They get voted down because of the governance structure of how many conferences vote. So there's way more schools that do not want what the big boys want than there are in the big boys conferences. And they get frustrated that they bring in all the money and they don't have very much strength when it comes to the law and the rules and the bylaws. And so they're just trying to take an opportunity to say, look, we have a big influence in this. We want to do what's right for our players. Please listen to us a little more carefully. Are you listening? I am. Yeah. Well, and the fans start to wonder, as soon as you start talking about this breakaway or whatever it is, who knows what it might become. BYU fans get nervous because they want to know where they fit in. I know you don't have a crystal ball, but do you feel comfortable where BYU is right now, that if something changed like that you guys would be in a good place? I think that we're in a spot right now, being an independent, where we're kind of in neutrality. This is all hearsay. It could happen, but how it happens, the logistics of it, who else is involved, how they even out those conferences, because there are so many questions that have to be answered, and no one knows the answers to those questions. I sit on what's called the BCS Advisory Council right now for the athletic directors, and I'm in those meetings, and they're hashing out things that I thought they would know all the answers to, and they don't. You just have to keep a kind of a cool head about it, but stay in the game. Look I'm not sitting on the sideline just going, hey, let me know when you finish up. It's very important for every school, for every conference, to make sure that they're in the conversation.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the coming months. As we know, things continue to change
Very much so.
in the world of college football. Tom, thanks for joining us. We have some gifts for you.
Thank
on your
you.
way out the door, we'll make sure you're well fed. Ruby River has some gift certificates for you, so you can go down and get a steak on your way back to Provo. And also, you can pick a bag out of the OGO.com catalog, whether it's a golf bag or you're going to be doing a lot of travel, so you can catch one of those too.
Well, it won't be a golf game bag, but you'll make my wife happy. She loves OGO.
There we go. You got it. Tom, thanks so much.
Thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
it.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
Yeah, best of luck.